there's a need for every skill set and like every type of person. And, especially speaking specifically of Lindsay Joe Scott, like every type of brain, like there is so much space in the world for the thing that you can do. And like you're saying, the thing that you can do might be the puzzle piece that fits alongside someone else's thing. And you both end up better because of it. You both end up more complete.
Now, I love that you said more complete, because so much of my existence and early tapes was I had to have it all figured out. And I think that a lot of us have that conditioning, is in order to be successful, you have to have all of the right answers. And whether some people are going to be willing to admit that or not, we do try to do everything alone, because it's like, yep, that's my worth, that's my value. And if I'm not contributing everywhere, then my value is then reduced or perceived to be reduced, because it doesn't feel like, oh, real team player, whatever that may look like. And so you have to be so proficient at so many things. And for me, that was the value prop, is like, yeah, I can do all these things, maybe not all of them really well. And even though internally, I really just want to focus on people and thinking about the future and how things could look in the future and being wild and having crazy ideas and not really creating that space for myself, ultimately created a lot of dissonance in the relationship that I had with myself. And what you have taught me is really good language of who you are and then also who you're not. And I think in the who you're not is just as important as who you are. Like for me, it was always yes and. Yes and, yes and, yes and, yes and, yes and. That was the superpower. Oh yeah, I could do that. Oh, and yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, and I can do that. Because then I'm valuable, right? That's the story. That's the story that I told myself. If I'm in everything and I'm doing everything, I'm seen. I'm not expendable in that sense, because it's right. I can do it from strategy to execution, or whatever that may look like. Even though it's not great, at least it's being done. And while there are seasons where that may be necessary in, certain stages of your career, etc., that is not where you are going to find peak performance.